Oh my God, get out of your brokerages. Goodness gracious. Listen, I'm headed into my 10th year in real estate and I decided to share 10 tips with you on things I wish I knew or things I did that you should do or things I didn't do that I wish I did. So follow along. It's gonna be a whole little series thing going on. But first, my name is Ant. I am the founder of Agent from Abundance, where we build real estate pros into CEOs. So if that's your thing, do what you gotta do. But here's tip number one, get out of your brokerages. And what do I mean by get out of your brokerages? I mean, listen, I get it. We choose our brokerages because we love them for whatever value they provided to us or whatever safety we felt like, hey, this is where we want to be. This is where we want to hang our hats. I get it. And I personally don't believe that one brokerage is for every single person out there. So definitely that's not what I'm having you subscribe to. But what I'm telling you is the synergy you get from people outside of your brokerages is absolutely phenomenal. I truly started to grow in confidence and in abundance, just meeting people and colleagues. I found a new love for this industry when I got outside of my brokerages. We would have masterminds, we would share and synergize, because we're all in this together. And when I stepped outside of my brokerage to find these people, it was just different energy, right? Because sometimes at your brokerages, yes, you guys all have the same items that the broker is offering. And sometimes you get into this beehive mindset where you guys are all doing the same thing. So like, how do you stand apart within your own brokerage as well, right? Especially if you're in an area where your brokerage might have a lot of agents and you are going up against listings and buyers with them too as well. So what I found is when you get outside of that brokerage, you start expanding, you start thinking in different ways and synergizing with people. So tip number one is going to be get out of your brokerages. Go find other agents, go coffee, go do vision boards and all this other fun stuff or anything you can think of, and just have a good old time with people that are not at your brokerage. That's tip number one. If you start setting up systems, in my mind, you're gonna be successful. I don't care what happens. Most agents only have one system, and that system is to fail, unfortunately. All right, so tip number two, have a system. And when I'm talking about have a system, it's like everybody says have a system. What does that actually mean? That means you are creating an SOP. I'm military, so I say SOP, standard operating procedures. You need to write down everything you are doing. I get it. Right now you have the time where you don't gotta write it down. You don't gotta try to figure out what email you need to send because you're only working with one person. But I promise you, eventually, you're going to be working with more than one person. And things are gonna need to go into auto flow. So what are some things you need to put into your systems? Emails. Every single email you send needs to be on a piece of paper that says, here's the subject, here's why we send this email, and then here's the body of the email. Every text message you send needs to be written down, and here's why I send this text message. Every action plan you have, every checklist, buyer's checklist, specifically buyer and seller checklist, so that way when you're creating your packets, you should always have 5 packets handy. I actually have 10. I have 5 for each at my house, and then I have 5 for each at my office. So if anybody were to call me and be like, hey, I want to meet you, great. Obviously do your due diligence, make sure they ain't trying to kill you, but you got to grab a packet and you're hitting the road and you're ready to go do that consultation because you have systems in place to help you succeed. But the main reason why I'm going to tell you to start as soon as possible with these systems is because you're eventually going to have success. If you start setting up systems, in my mind, you're going to be successful. I don't care what happens. Set these systems up and you cannot fail. You will be successful. However, when that time comes, because you are so successful, you're going to need to either hire an assistant or another buyer agent or a seller's agent. Most people start out with an assistant. Needless to say, you need to start creating your systems now because you're not going to have the time in the future when you start rolling in those buyers and sellers. And I want you to succeed. I don't want you to get burnt out. Create those systems. Most real estate professionals are leaving value on the table, and the sad truth is they're paying to do it. Tip number 3 is going to be leverage the value of your association. I know, believe it or not, there's brokerages out there, there's agents out there who think the association is a huge waste of time. And I'm actually going to challenge that a little bit because you're paying for this awesome resource that we got to be a part of currently to be a realtor, right? We got to be part of the association. So I'm assuming you're a realtor right now. You are paying to have this whole building and this staff people work for you, right? There are so many ways to leverage it. For example, say I'm going up to a listing and you're going up to a listing. I actually volunteer at the association. You do not. So when we're going there and we're doing our listing consultations and we're talking about the values that we all bring, you're probably going to say, hey, I've sold this many listings, and you're going to say, I do this many drone footage and I do HD photos and all these other good things. And then I'm going to come in there and say, hey, this is how many I've done. This is how many photos I do. This is how many HD. But on top of that, I'm also the chair of the Young Professionals Network. I'm also the chair of RPAC. I'm also the chair of Education Task Force, or I sit on the board of directors. I'm the president I'm the secretary, right? We're charging for our knowledge. We all can put listings on the MLS. We're charging for our knowledge, and the knowledge that I have gained by being a part of the association has allowed me to stand out, and it's allowed me to impact our local industry, whether it's contract or whether it's forms or just the things we do day to day within our local association that once the board decides are now implemented across all its members. Yeah, do you want to sit at that table? So leveraging that experience and leveraging that power and explaining that to the people you sit in front of helps you charge whatever professional fee you want to charge, but also shows the difference that you're making. So now I have all this experience on my resume and you really don't, so that's great, and you might be great with people, but not only is it that I'm good with people, but I have the seat at the table per se, which helps me stand out. Now, don't get me wrong, the association will suck up all your damn time if you want to give it to them, okay? They will take every ounce because it's a volunteer organization, so who's going to say no to people volunteering? So please be very diligent on what you sign up for and how much you sign up for, because at the end of the day, we still got to pay these bills, and if you're giving all the time and all your time, you ain't got no time for your clients. So make sure you're balancing that out, but leverage the value of your association. I wish I would have done it from the very beginning, and I didn't start till like year 5. So that's my tip. Bye. Open houses are a huge waste of time. But tip number 4 is actually going to be discussing open houses. I hear a lot of times that open houses are a huge waste of time, but my question is, do you truly understand what the purpose of an open house is? And coming from a place of abundance, obviously it's, you know, the name, agent from abundance. There's 2 sides to every coin. Well, there's 3 sides to this coin. The first coin is obviously, yes, you want to try to get buyers for that listing you are showing the property to. So yes, you're going to target buyers, and when they don't come through, or you get one family that comes through or one individual that comes through and you're so heartbroken, I get it. That's the buyer side of things. But there's other ways to look at this as well, right? Listings. A lot of people get listings. So when you first start out, you're solely focused on the buyers, and that's what you're trying to get at open houses. But as you gain some experience and a couple of years under your belt, you're going to see that open houses are a great way to get listings as well, because everybody got them nosy neighbors. So the neighbors come on through, they're nosy, they want to see what's going on, and typically they'll just go in there, see the agent sitting down doing whatever they're trying to do, or they're going to hound them and search the whole house with them and all these other good things. However, if you do it correctly and you have different things you do that makes your open houses so special and amazing, they're going to see that, they're going to remember that, and they're going to like your style. So then they're going to call you to list their house when their time is ready. So you can get several listings from open houses as well. The third thing I told you about, that's going to be your content. I used to do open houses all the time, and I'm gonna be real with you, I sucked at them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never downsold any kind of property with any of my open houses. I just either didn't do it right, or I was already producing that energy, and so ain't nobody showing up to buy that house when I was doing an open house. However, I used to do them all the time as a new agent. I would do them every weekend, whether it was my listing or not. And now I have listings, and I have agents from outside my brokerage calling me to ask me if they can do open houses. So obviously talk to your broker, do whatever you gotta do to make sure that's fine. But anyways, the moral of the story is I would still do it every weekend because I had nothing else to do, and I needed to show the world that I was a realtor that they could trust. So I would go to these open houses, I would bring books, I would study, I would work on my systems, I would take pictures of me there, I would take pictures of doors, I would ask questions and stuff like that. All the time I would be using that time to work on my business, and that way I wasn't wasting my time. That would be my designated time, because I still had family, I had kids, but when I would do my open houses, that was the time to work on my business. And I would take pictures of different features of the house, I would ask questions, I would do polls, but I would show my sphere of influence on social media that I was an active realtor. So yes, there are 3 sides to look at open houses. Even though I've never sold a single property of any of my open houses, they were still instrumental to the success I had, because it allowed me to provide my audience with content, me as a realtor. So those are the tip number 4. Do as many open houses as you can. Don't be mad that you ain't never got nobody if you don't get nobody. Continue to do them, especially when you ain't got nothing else going on. You're a real estate agent and you suck being on video. Video is absolutely crucial to your growth and success as a real estate professional, specifically if you want to level up. I knew very early on that somebody reading my bio was not going to work out too well for me, because I didn't want to write the damn thing, first of all. But second of all, it was no good because I just started out and didn't have all the bells and whistles that I felt you needed to be this world-class HGTV realtor. That, let's not even get started on that point. But anyways, I digress. The fact is, people want to get to know you. People want to get to like you. And the easiest way to know you, like you, trust you as a realtor is to get a feel of who you are, understand your vibes. So get on video. I don't care if you're talking for 30 seconds. I don't care if you're talking for 10 minutes. Just get on video. And if you need like content, there's so many, obviously like ChatGPT and all that stuff. And there's so many ways to get on video and stuff like that. But just please understand how to get on video. I'm literally using my cell phone, and I bought this little doohickey on Amazon. That's it. Just is get on video and start talking to people. Be relatable, right? Don't be so stiff and stuff. But video is crucial to your success. And I also think that when people ask you questions, if they're sending you a text message and asking you a question, jump on video. I think video texting is a great way to continue to build that relationship. And it also shows them you took the time out of your day to actually do the dang video instead of just, shooting them a text message. It allows you to build that rapport up quickly. So if you're scared to do video, nobody cares what you look like. Honestly, the more disheveled you look, unless you're doing like them super rich luxury properties, like they probably don't want to see all that because that's not the look that they portray to the world. But if you're doing like normal people, like I do, I work with normal people. And so they don't care. I've done lives where I was getting a pedicure with my wife and I told them that, hey, y'all got me running around the city. My dogs is burning, how to get them fixed. You know what I'm saying? It was great. There was great interaction there. So get on video, be your authentic self, and have a great time. That is tip number 5. You're a brand new real estate agent and you're so pressed on making money, yet you don't even understand this business. But for tip number 6, we're going to be talking about stop choosing your brokerages based on the splits. It never truly works out. I don't know how to break this to you, but I get it. You're trying to keep as much money in your pocket, but while you're doing that, you're actually losing more money because you're not aligning with the right brokerage. And if the first question out of your mouth is how many leads you're gonna give me, yeah, we've kind of already lost the battle. So here's the thing. You need to find what your strengths are and you need to find out what your weaknesses are. So if you are super techie, the most amazing technical realtor there ever is, and you're going to a brokerage that is also super techie, but they have zero support, right? They offer all the latest and greatest tech, but they have zero support because they give you a specific percentage that you're looking for. Remember, the more money your brokerages give you, the less money they can reinvest into their businesses and provide you more value. So what I always found out is, what are my weaknesses? I suck at software support. Like I suck at doing things, the admin side of things. I would rather go to a brokerage that has that support, even if I have to pay a little more or maybe not receive a little more. So stop picking your brokerages based on the splits. It just makes no sense. And also, here's another little tip, and I'm not gonna go off on a rampage here, but if you're on your 4th or 5th brokerage, it's not your broker, it's you. Throwing that out there for you, I know, but hey, here in Abundance, we keep it real 100 all the way around. But just keep in mind, if you're aligning with the right brokerage based on your strengths and weaknesses, there should never really be a problem. So please don't pick your brokerage based on the split alone. Now, if you do want a list of questions that you should ask your broker before selecting them as your broker, comment, let me know. I will send you the list for free. We'll get that to you. There's a bunch of questions, so feel free to review those questions and let me know. But that's tip number 6. Real estate agents, stop relying so much on ChatGPT. Tip number 7, we're on tip number 7, leverage the data. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT. ChatGPT and all those AI tools are amazing. They're a great way to leverage them in your business. But there's one key factor. When it comes to the numbers, I do not rely on any other AI sources because remember, we're the source of the source. So where can we get this data from? You have your MLSs. You guys need to go into your MLSs and utilize the data and start building your content around the data from MLS. Not only that, NAR has a great value called RPR, right? I know a lot of us like to complain that NAR ain't doing nothing for us or whatever. If you're in that boat and you use RPR, you don't sound dumb because NAR does provide us with RPR. RPR has so much great data in there and different reports and stuff. They have different AI features in there as well. But go into RPR, they actually have AI features in there where if you want to do a graphic, if you want to do an email, if you want to do a post, if you want to do a phone call, if you want to do an email, or you want to send a newsletter, they will generate the entire thing for you. All you have to do is type in the zip code you want. So make sure you're leveraging the right data. And when it comes to the numbers, I only trust my MLS, I only trust NAR to do those two things. I'm not getting random data from ChatGPT that pulled it off of Google. That is, in my professional opinion, a lackluster attempt of knowledge and it can't be trusted. So leveraging your data, use your MLSs, use your associations, and you should be good to go. There's your tip for number 7. Are you gonna be a great real estate professional if you're stuck in the house as a recluse? So now I just wanna share some tips with you because I wish I knew these tips, I wish I did these tips, or I did do these tips that got me to where I am today, and I wanna share them with you. So tip number 8 is join a group. When I first started, I was nervous. I didn't really know nobody because I had moved to this, new city where I'm in, and I didn't really know anybody, so I had no sphere of influence, right? So I'm going to tell you, get out of your way. Find a group that you absolutely love to be a part of, meaning I actually like to do these things. I'm not a huge, I'm not a singer, right? So I'm not gonna go join a singing group just because, you heard somebody might wanna buy or sell a house in there. Don't do that. Find a group you actually find a passion with. I found a halau. I'm of Hawaiian descent, so I found around the halal, and I built my tribe around my family and ohana within that halal. So for you, if you love to read books, go join a book club. If you love tennis, join a tennis club. If you love bocce, go do all that kind of thing. Whatever you want to do, just go join groups. And the most important thing I'm going to tell you about these groups is when you get in there, do not run around talking about I'm a realtor, use me, I'm the group realtor. No, just go be a part of their culture, be a part of that energy they bring, be a part of whatever they got going on in there. Just be present and be a part. And by nature, you're going to become known to those people, and they're going to know you, like you, trust you, and eventually learn and find out you're a realtor, and they'll trust you as a realtor and use you. Go join some groups. You got this. You're a real estate agent and you just don't feel like it anymore. Well, tip number 9 is actually going to be fake motivation. Fake motivation is okay. I tell people all the time to fake the motivation until you get to the real motivation. There's gonna be times in this business where you don't want to do it. You probably just got your license and you're already overwhelmed and you don't want to do it already. So what do? We fake the motivation until it becomes real motivation. I went to this conference, NAR NXT, when they had it in Orlando, and the speaker said one time, if you're ever feeling down or you're just, over it, the business, he said, sit down and write thank you notes, write thank you cards, because what happens is when you start to force yourself to write thank you cards, you're thankful for something, or you're remembering a memory that was good and you're putting it on paper to send to that person. So it's forcing yourself to get out of your mind of negativity and think about the happy times, which naturally you will become happier in that moment also. So even if you got to fake the motivation, keep doing it. You'll find your motivation again and it'll all come around and you will be going on 10 years like I am. You're a real estate agent and you want to know the best way to stay active and engaged with your fear that you've already closed deals with, so that way nobody comes and bothers them and you still remain the #1 person in their life for that city? Well, I would say start a Facebook VIP page. This is nothing new and people have been saying this forever, but I wish I would have done this a lot earlier because I didn't, and I just think that it is such a great way to stay in contact after and also be able to engage your entire audience without having to do it all individually. So pretty much what you're going to do is start a Facebook VIP page. So anybody you close a transaction with, you're going to invite them to this Facebook VIP page. And if they don't have Facebook, well, they're not going to be eligible unless you want to create one for every single social media platform, which I don't recommend. Pretty much in this Facebook VIP page, what you're going to do once a week, you're going to share maybe what's going on in the city for that week, the different events they got going on, different events they might have going downtown. You're going to share this calendar event. You're going to share their new restaurants opening up in the city. They want to know about that. You're going to share any entertainments that's coming out, concerts, whatever, all those fall under events. You get what I'm saying, right? Any new entertainment spaces they can go, bowling alleys, ice skating rinks, I don't know. Anything that's happening in your city, you're the person to go to. You can also do your market updates in there, your market in a minute videos you can post there, or just give them their market videos there. You can also do your weekly raffle giveaways. Every week you can give away a gift card to Starbucks or something like that, or once a month give away a gift card to Starbucks, or whatever you got going on. And it don't got to be Starbucks for you Dunkin' Donuts people. Create a Facebook page, and that way somebody says, hey, I need a painter. Also introduce them to the Facebook page as well. Hey, this is the new person, a part of my whatever your group is or whatever. Welcome them to the VIP page. Allow them to have a sense of community, specifically if they're military members, right? Military members want a sense of community. So if you're already introducing them to other people that are there, that's a great way to build that rapport up as well. So no matter what happens after the transactions, you're involved with them, you're involved in their life, and they know that you know everything that's going on in the city, and they will always reach back out to you. Start your VIP pages. This is tip number 10. We're done. It's the wrap. I'll see you in the next series.